Welcome back, everybody. We got another video this week. If you haven't already, make sure to check out our reaction video to all the Week 10 games, other than Monday Night Football, but we'll get out an Instagram post for that one. And this week, or for this video, we're going to be going over some storylines. Currently, Week 10, start of Week 11, just some outlooks. Mainly, we're going to be focusing on the Patriots and the Texans. And so we'll hop right into it. Again, Bryson joined by Braden and Jake. If you guys want to say hello.
Hey, how's it, guys?
And we'll get this one started. So, first off, the Patriots. I know we kind of just quickly mentioned in the reaction videos, didn't really go over much because it wasn't really a great game to really talk about. Colts got the win, 10-6. I mean, the only touchdown, Jonathan Taylor on a rushing touchdown. And then obviously we know the Patriots just struggled in general. Mac Jones had a really bad day. Definitely could have had 3 interceptions. Only had the one, but 2 other passes were really right there. Could have been picked. One of them was a drop. Um, and he got benched. Bailey Zapp came in. I don't know if I loved the play call there at the end. I don't know if you guys saw the fake spike. And he kind of just forced
Yeah,
to throw into double coverage. Really, I don't know what he was looking at. If you looked at the cam from at least from the offensive side, looking at the secondary, I mean obviously I'm not an NFL quarterback playing live in a game, but just looking at that coverage, it's definitely a questionable throw. Throws the interception to close out the game, and they lose. And Belichick, I think Jake was mentioning some rumors that they're going to move on from him this year, after this year. And obviously, you know, we were talking that they're not going to fire him midseason. And it's kind of I feel like it might be an out of respect thing for how much, you
yeah,
know,
definitely.
how much he's done for them that they won't fire him, which makes sense. And it also wouldn't make any sense to fire him right now because bringing in another coach isn't going to make a difference. So, I mean, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on Bailey Zapp and Mac Jones. Is it a move on from them, look to draft, or kind of hope for the future in one of them? I don't know. I don't know about that QB situation right now.
I mean, as of right now, it's like in season wise, either of them ain't gonna get the job done. So, and neither are your future. So it's probably gonna be a little bit off. But I'm just gonna say start Malik Cunningham already. Start him for the rest of the year. It was a fun preseason watch. At least it'll be more exciting, with a scrambling quarterback. They ain't got weapons, so it doesn't help
Yeah,
any quarterback at all.
it is the year of the mobile quarterback, or at least the era
And
of the mobile quarterback.
yeah, he's a rookie, right?
Yes,
I
Can't
think
remember.
so.
I'm
No.
not sure. Is he?
Well, if
I
he is
don't
a
know.
rookie, definitely start him because as you see across the league throughout this year, rookie quarterbacks are getting the starts and they're having some success. So why not? But as far as the future, yeah, it's definitely if it's going to be moving on from Bill Belichick, and yeah, you're definitely looking to get a new quarterback in. Hopefully, your franchise quarterback with where they're drafting, they're definitely being played for one of the top echelon quarterbacks in this draft. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely think this draft class coming up is going to be heavy, heavy QB. So, if there was a year to draft, it would be this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. You go look for a QB after this. You're gonna probably get rid of Bill Belichick. You guys are far from being contenders. I mean, your defense isn't what it used to be. Your offense we've seen today just could not score. A lot of problems in the red zone. If it was Bailey Zappi or even Mac Jones, they both threw interceptions and had many chances to win this game or even put it a lot closer. I mean, missed field goals, interceptions in the red zone just does not help your team. And yeah, Belichick moves on. We've seen reports to the Commanders. I don't know how much that makes sense to me because I don't think they're close to being contenders anytime soon. I don't know how many years Belichick has left in his system to keep going out there and coach. He's on the older side, already Hall of Fame career, and with the last few years without Brady, I feel like it's almost kind of hurting his reputation now because a lot of people are like he can't win without Brady. It just doesn't look the
Yeah.
same. He's had one good year. But yeah, you just move on, and whoever the next coach is, you get your pretty early pick. They're 2-8, 2-8, 2-6, 2-8. Yeah, 2-8 right now, so they're gonna be picking in that top 10. I don't think they traded away much, so they have a lot of assets.
They didn't
Go
trade
get
anything
your
for Mac
guy.
Jones. They
Yeah,
stayed put.
yeah. So new QB or new coach, might as well go pick your guy. Don't try and build an offense around some QBs you didn't want. So yeah, I think they're ready to get over Mac Jones. I don't know how much he plays, barring injuries, but looks like Zappy's probably going to be the guy. I would like to see Cunningham play, but I don't see this team making that much
I did
big
want to point out
difference between the two.
they did waive Cunningham.
Oh, they
So,
did.
yeah.
Ah, shoot! I didn't know that. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I didn't know that
Walk
either.
back on that.
So
Oh, bad decision on
yeah,
them.
maybe probably
It's not
won't
like
be
someone
seeing
picked
him
him
then.
up.
I mean, I don't think anybody picked him up. So, I mean, if they want to pick him back up, I don't know. But
Play.
Yeah, because I think they cut him and Zappy at the same time, and then they re-signed Zappy.
Well, because they had Cunningham like I don't know if it was on the practice squad or on the roster where he
yeah,
was ready
he was on the
a
practice
while
squad.
back
Yeah,
because they were ready to play him a couple weeks ago when I think we were still at this same trajectory.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, it does suck. I mean, I'm indifferent as a, obviously not as a Patriots fan. I don't really care. Belichick, yes, Brady's success. Can you really attribute it to Belichick? I mean, are there some people that believe coaches don't really make a difference in terms of, if the team is actually a contender? Is the coaching going to be really that much of an impact if the players are that great? Like, we've seen Tom Brady win without Belichick, so can you really attribute Brady's success to Belichick? No, but at the same time, like, you can't just knock it. Obviously, coaching is important, and we know Belichick as a coach, at least his tenure with the Patriots, is as a whole successful. So it's tough. I mean, yeah, I know some of the narratives coming out there, like you said, Braden, he can't win without Brady, which, as much as I want to say that's not necessarily true, that kind of what we've been seeing is that he hasn't really been relevant since Brady left. Had that 1 year, and then that was it. And kind of basically after Brady, all Belichick's really been known for is having a good defense. And this year, the defense has not been great. Yeah, they did have some tough injuries, but we kind of normally expect defense to be the best aspect of Belichick, and this year just hasn't been it. So I don't know. I don't know if the Commanders would be a good fit because, yeah, like you said, it wouldn't really make sense. It'd just be one currently losing organization to another losing organization. It's not like Sam Howell and the young guys in the offense are going to be any better with Belichick. So I don't know. In terms of like the coaching position availability, I feel like the Commanders are kind of really the only team that I can think of that are like going to be drowning in a coach after they move on from what's his name? Shoot, I can't remember his name. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Rivera.
Yeah, Rivera. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see after this year if there's some coaching move arounds, but yeah, I don't know. It's tough right now, especially with the caliber of coach of Belichick, right? Like, because I feel like he's like the Greg Popovich of the NFL. How Popovich with the Spurs.
Pretty much. Yeah, he has to go to team with something because you don't have the time to rebuild it, and you don't want to just
Yeah,
add 3 more seasons onto your
he's
career when you're
definitely not got
at
a.
best 8-8,
He's
nine
not
and
got
eight.
a lot of.
Yes.
I feel like coaching left in him.
And plus, I don't want the Commanders to sign him. I do want them to get rid of Ron Rivera, but I would rather them promote Eric Bieniemy. I mean, we're talking about Sam Howell looks good. This offense is starting to look good. I feel like keep him. We saw what he did with Patrick Mahomes. That offense doesn't look the same in Kansas City. Their defense is picking up a lot of the slack there. I attribute it to Bieniemy. Yes, Eric and Andy Reid's still there. They're still looking good on offense, but it's not that same kind of touch they've had these past like 4 or 5 years. So, and we see proof. Washington Commanders' offense was abysmal these last few years, and now, I mean, I don't think any of us had really high expectations for Sam Howell, and he pretty much exceeded
Yeah,
everything.
definitely has.
I know they're not winning, but again, we never had much going for that offense in the first place.
And they just gave away all their best defensive pieces. So
Mm.
yeah, we knew they were going to struggle defensively.
I don't know. I feel like if Belichick moves on, if when, there's got to be like between him and the new owner for whatever team he's going to be coaching. I feel like the only way he's taking a job is if one, he gets full control again, and two, if the owner is comfortable with him implementing uh his environment. If you know what I'm saying, that the Patriot way of doing things. I feel like those are too hard. I don't know. I think those are two
Yeah,
things that I don't know if an owner slash GM is willing to give into. And if Washington is, that's probably what it is. That the owner's like, I seen your success. That I'll just hand things over to you. That's the only way I can see him getting the head coaching job. That he just gets full control again. But if that happens, I can definitely see Terry McLaurin and a bunch more players wanting out.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. That's tough right now. It's a tough time to beat Bill Belichick.
Oh,
If is there any world where he just not necessarily? I don't want to say retires, but I don't know. I can't imagine him like taking off a season. But
he might have to if nobody really wants to give him the reins or anything,
yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, I will say this though, I don't think he's totally washed. What I think is he's a great defensive play caller, great defensive talent as a GM and head coach, and him butting into the offense. That's pretty much what is killing him, and has been killing him. Like, because he's not a great GM. They overdraft or they draft buses all the time, and then they just don't put the right resources into the right players, the right coaching staff. Like, well, they signed Juju right over to Jacoby Myers, same price, just like that, or overdrafting that one O lineman. I can't remember his name. I think they drafted him in the first,
Cole
and
Strange.
yeah, and then from Sean McVay's reaction, he was shocked because the Rams knew at that time they didn't have any first, second round picks. He was hoping he'd fall to the third round, so I think that kind of said something. It's like uh, overreaching on some guys. So I think I think if he was just a defensive coordinator, I think he'd be fine. But anything else with more control and just talent evaluation, he should have no part of.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, we know that the Patriots are looking like season's done, obviously, and definitely some questions about that QB room. Looking to draft. I mean, I feel like currently, I don't know, between Zappy and Mac Jones, I don't know which one I like better. I feel like they're just both bad. Uh, obviously Mac being the starter, we've just seen more of bad play from him. So who's to say if Zappy starts, it's just going to be the same thing. The only reason we have the bad play to go off of Mac Jones is because he's a starter and he's getting playing time. So, I mean, we just watched Zappy throw a pick to close the game out on the last drive, which was definitely a really bad pass. And I think in the games that he has come in, it wasn't like they were any better with him on the field. So, yeah, definitely a lot the Patriots need to figure out. And if they're moving on from Belichick, do we think they're shopping for other head coaches, or do we think they promote in house?
They look for new. I think they're kind of just done with the whole Belichick tree, and yeah,
You got 6 Super Bowls out of it, and you're good.
Yeah,
To
I mean, I
find
think
a
as
new
an
way.
organization, yeah, it was bound to come crashing at some point, right? You've had about damn near a decade of success, and move on from the best quarterback of all time, and team kind of just hasn't looked good since.
watch it be Josh McDaniels.
Oh man,
Should not get a head coaching job again.
Oh no, he's never again.
him and Arthur Smith should never coach again. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if you have anything else. You guys have anything else on that subject? We can move on to the next one if you guys are ready for that. So I think the next step we wanted to talk about was the Texans. If you watched our reaction video, you'll saw that obviously myself and the other guys too were excited to see Stroud'S play, and the playoff hopes are there. I think in terms of strength of schedule for the rest of the year. They're 5-4 right now, and let's see. So they're one game back from the Jags in that division. Definitely, I don't see the Colts. I mean, the Colts are 5-5, but I don't see the Colts taking the second spot from them. And I don't know. Do we think there's a chance they take the first seed from the Jags?
I mean,
I think
they're
there's a
a game
chance.
out.
Yeah, it comes down to week 12. They play them one last time on the year,
They do
so
play one more time.
that could determine. Obviously, I think it'll determine who's leading it at the time, but that could determine who's going to win it.
Yeah, so they play Jags. So they got Cardinals next week, and then the Jags after that. So let's see. We know Jags just took a loss this week, and I mean, looking at the Jags schedule, they really do have some tough matchups. So I definitely think there's a chance they could drop this division to the Texans. I think it will depend on that game. Who wins that game, I think, will definitely have a big impact because I feel like it's going to be neck and neck. But I don't know. Let me get y'all's thoughts on the Texans' schedule coming up. I know we will still do our predictions later, and maybe coming up that week they might change. But at least for now, just looking at the games, hypothetically, Cardinals up next. I think this is a Texans dub, even with Kyler Murray back.
Agreed.
Texans.
And then obviously we got the Jags. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. I feel like I want to lean towards the Jags, but it's tough.
I think they beat the Jags earlier in the year, if I remember.
Mhm.
I definitely want to see how
Yeah,
they
they did.
rebound against the Niners.
They did.
Because if they're kind of back to how they've been normally playing, or just their brand of football, then
Yeah.
I might pick them. But as of right now, Texans are looking hot right now. Eventually they'll cool down, so
I agree with that.
Oh.
Okay, so that one I'm going to leave as a toss-up for now, at least. I think I want to
Give me
see, like you
Texans.
said, I want to see the Jags in the next game after that Niners one.
Give me Texans. I think the Jags are
You can
frauds.
you can give them. You can get. I'll say give it to the Texans for now.
All right, okay, so we'll say tentatively the Texans take this one. So that puts them 7-4, and then after the Jags, they got the Broncos.
They got the Broncos.
Texans, yeah.
I feel like they should just on paper, right? And this is a home game too.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have a three game home stretch. Cardinals, Jags, Broncos. They're all going to be at home for, and then they will go to New York for the Jets.
I think they could drop this one.
That's what I was gonna say.
This was the one I was looking at that was like, yeah, I feel like they dropped this one.
It's December. They're away. I think they're already on. There'd be a 7-game win streak. Did we already say? Around
If
something like
they
that.
won these next three, yeah, they would be
7 or 8. Yeah.
one. Actually, no, they did lose to the Panthers. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
one,
Not even. We're not even that far.
3, 4,
Maybe
5.
5.
So a 5-game win streak.
They're gonna start cooling down sometime.
Yeah, that's a hot streak. Like
Yeah.
as much as on paper, I don't. The one I feel like they could drop is the Jags one, because I feel like there's I don't know, maybe the Cardinals just after Kyler's hot start, maybe he has another back-to-back good game, and the Texans
You're right.
defense is not great by all means. So
It could be the Jags. You're right, because like
yeah,
back-to-back weeks, right? Going over 375 or so yards.
Yeah.
So there's always, they're gonna regress a little
Okay.
bit. Nothing.
yeah. But if we're looking at it on paper, and the Jags gave kind of tentatively, so we got them. We win those three, so that puts them 8-4. They drop to the Jets 8-5, and then they have the Titans in Tennessee. Levis versus Stroud.
Oh,
Assuming it's still Levis, I can't see any reason why Levis unless he gets hurt.
yeah.
I don't know. We just watched. He did lose to Bryce Young. So that's.
I'm gonna give it to him at this time. Just this one, I'll give it to him.
I don't think he actually. Yeah, he hasn't beaten a rookie quarterback.
Oh, you're right.
He lost to Anthony
to
Richardson. He lost to Bryce Young, and he's lost to. Oh yeah, Bryce Young and Richardson basically. So far he hasn't beaten a rookie quarterback.
Do we think that streak continues? That's the question. Yeah.
Give me the Titans.
You Titans.
I don't believe in Will Levis too much like that. That he's better than CJ Stroud. He's gonna outplay him. I think the key player in this matchup is gonna be Derrick Henry. Just see what Derrick Henry does to the Texans every year. It's like one of his favorite matchups. It's where he has those circled on his calendar. Be prepared because he's gonna go for 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just always pops off, and I think being at home late in the year, I think Will Levis will get enough of the passing game going that they can't focus too much on Derrick Henry like how they did in the past. So, yeah, I'll give them this one. I think they split the series.
Oof. All right. This is a rough patch.
So that'll put them 8-5, and then they take the Browns back at home.
They're not taking the Browns. I'm taking the Browns on this one. I'm sorry.
You are?
I'm taking the Browns on that one. I know that'd be 2 in a row, 3 in a row if I'm taking the Browns, but like this is a tough stretch. It's division and just tough defenses are playing right here.
No, I feel like I think like just looking at it first glance, yeah, I feel like the Browns, but I've just watched Stroud especially against this Joe Burrow matchup. And the fact that he's struggled against rookie quarterbacks, but like outplayed other, not necessarily like veteran. He's I mean the quarterbacks he's beaten. He did lose to Lamar, but he beat Trevor Lawrence. He beat Kenny Pickett. He beat Derek Carr, beat Mayfield, and he just beat Burrow. I don't know. I think this one could go either way. I feel like.
Okay.
I don't want to say
All right.
100% the Texans win. I don't want to say like locked in he wins, but I feel like this is definitely one that he could come out on top with. But let's just say hypothetically, off
There you
of,
go.
off
Go
of
for
the,
it.
off of the first glance on paper, the Browns win this one, so that puts them
6. Is that
8-6.
No.
Oh wait, no, wait.
No, I'm sorry. I messed that up.
8-4, 8-5, 8-6.
No.
This would put them 8-7 because 3 in a row. Because 5, 4, 6, 4, 7, 4, 8-4, 8-5,
Sounds right.
8-6, 8-7, 8-7. Okay, and then they
I
get
think it does.
So let's just say hypothetically they drop that one to the Browns. So 8-7. Then they play the Titans again at home. You said you thought they would split it, so you think think the Texans take this one? Okay.
I think Texans take this one.
So Texans take that one. So 9-7, and then Texans versus last game gets the Colts. Colts are home.
Oof.
Texans.
That might determine
no Anthony Richardson. Yeah, I think
it might determine whether they get in or not.
so. 9-7 before this game. If they win, obviously 10-7. Lose 9-8.
Yeah, I'd take they take this, but I
don't know. You think they make the playoffs? 9-8.
9-8. Oh, 9-8. No, if 10-7 is a possibility. 10-7 is a possibility they make it in, but it's a tough. Yeah, I mean, I got them winning the Colts game at the end, but
Okay, so 10-7
That's a tough
basically
one,
to end the year, hypothetically.
Sounds about the right spot to me. I kind of have them as a borderline playoff team. Definitely surprised all of us. I didn't think they'd be this good, but 10-7 makes sense. Division's weak.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a little skeptical on playoffs. You beat the Bengals, that's a huge win because they're another team that's fighting for it. But if they lose to the Browns are another team that are right there in the playoff mix, and that tiebreaker might be what kind of breaks the camel's back because I mean, the Browns are 6-3 right now. They're not far off from 10-7 as well. They just got to win 4 more games. Pretty much go 50-50 in the remaining stretch of the season. They'll have the same record, so I don't know.
Because really, other than that, none of these other divisions look good. I mean, unless the Chargers somehow miraculously turn things around. I mean, the Bills are 5-4 right now too. I think obviously if they beat the Broncos, they go 6-4. But yeah, it's really going to count on the Browns, I think.
You also have the Jets right now too, who if they take another loss to them, that's another wild card team, or at least fighting for the wild card.
Yeah.
They're 4-4 right now. They're playing.
So
Could be 5-4, same record.
if anything, do you guys want to go over the Jags schedule then? Because this might, if the Jags have a bad rest of the season, then Texans could potentially take the first in the South. But I don't know.
That's true.
Jags don't have they definitely have some big matchups coming up. They got Titans next. I think that's a win for the Jags. I think we took the Texans beating them. That was week 12. And then they play the Bengals and Browns. Bengals, Browns, Ravens in their next 3 games after the Texans.
Damn.
Yeah,
Back to back to back.
Yeah. And they're at home versus the Bengals and home versus the Ravens. And then Browns are home in that matchup. So Bengals, Browns, Ravens, back to back to back. And then after that, the last 3 games are Bucks, Panthers, Titans.
Oh, yeah.
So they got 4 more division games left. I feel like the Titans could steal one from them, but I wouldn't bet on it. But I don't
I'm
know.
picking. I'd take the Jags in against the Titans. Uh,
Yeah, last game of the year they played the Titans in
maybe
Tennessee.
down if they're gonna steal. Maybe
Yeah,
that could be the one.
in
But
Tennessee. Yeah, that's the only one I think. But I'm not like saying like it's a lock in, but who knows? I mean, no team is ever 100% locked in to win. But
it's a tough schedule they got.
yeah,
Uh,
especially that Bengals, Browns, Ravens, 3 in a row. That's a tough
I
stretch.
think after that Bengals game, they'll start to heat up. They're a December team. Doug Peterson is he knows how to get his guys playing in December. So I'll say after that Bengals game, he gets them going.
Yeah, I think it just kind of falls down to their matchup, the Jags versus Texans in 2 weeks. I mean, we saw both their schedules. We both think they have about 3 to 4 games they can drop. They're gonna have tough matchups. Looking at the schedule, I think the Jaguars are in the same range, 10-7, maybe 11-6. In my opinion, I don't think better than 11-6. But just like we said, we had not the Texans at 10-7. There's games that we're on the fence about, so it kind of seems they might end with the same record at the end of the year, and they're all gonna fall in that head-to-head matchup.
Yeah, only one of them is making it, and it's through the division. It's not a wild card spot.
I don't know. I
Whoever
feel
then
like there's still a wild card spot open though,
feel
because as
like
much as like the AFC North owns it, but we still have to play each other so many times. Like we're not
I get
that
it, but
far out of
I
the
think the
race.
Dolphins are taking one. They don't have a hard schedule to me. Yes, they will lose to the contenders, but outside of that, they're beating down on the rest of the competition.
Yeah, but that is true.
Like they're gonna beat they already beat the Patriots already. But yeah, like I said, I don't think they have a hard schedule. No, whether they take the division because the Bills just fall behind or they get in through a wild card spot, I don't see the Dolphins not making the playoffs. So that takes up a spot. I think two more, possibly from your guys' division, and I don't see anybody from the AFC West taking it besides the Chiefs. Just getting the division berth. So
Yeah.
Yeah, well, should be interesting. I mean, whether they make the playoffs or not, Stroud's having a phenomenal year. No doubt about that. No questions on that one. Kind of a lock in for the rookie of the year, like we've said, like we've mentioned before. And yeah, I think depending on how their draft looks, I think they're looking, maybe bolster up that offensive line, definitely bolster up that defense, uh, just to kind of help Stroud out because it looks like I think the offensive talent is there for the young guys. So future's bright for them. I mean, like we've been saying, it just bodes well for football to see teams like the Texans, kind of be relevant and not just constantly in a rebuild and trying to figure out and kind of missing out and on key players in the draft and definitely good to see. It's good for football. So uh, we'll have to see. Hopefully, he's not just a bust this year, and I mean a bust after this year and just kind of a rookie year sensation and then washed after that. Hopefully not. But yeah, I think the should be an interesting one. I'd love to see them in the playoffs just to see how he is in the playoffs. I think it should be interesting. I mean, I think they'll, if they make it, I could see them getting knocked out in that first round, but it'd still be fun to see, just to see him get some playoff experience. But yeah, that'll wrap up for kind of the storylines we're following. Did you want to do the Pitts game now, Jake?
yeah, why not?
Yeah. All
I
right.
think I got about one or two.
Truth or Pitts?
Yeah.
Pitts or
Yeah.
nothing? I don't know. What do we call it? We had a couple few
Either
different. Was it
picks
was it
or
Pitts or nothing? Was that the one you said, Brady? I forgot.
That was me.
I thought I remember somebody said Pitts or nothing.
Pitts or false. I don't know. Was it that?
Take
No.
your picks.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
It's
take
truth or
your
pits,
pits.
and I feel like I
Good.
swear I thought it was pits or nothing. Anyway,
I
whatever
can't
name we
remember.
go with, truth pits.
All right.
We'll have Jake
So,
start us off.
all right. So on the week 10, Kyle Pitts scored 6 fantasy points. So, gonna list off 3 more names. You guys tell me which of these guys scored more than Kyle Pitts. So I'm just gonna say it's not just one of them. It could be multiple, or it could be one. It's gonna be at least one. I'm just gonna say it'll be at least one that scored more. So let me read off this list. So we'll start off with Connor Hayward, Daniel Bellinger, and Jonnu Smith.
Dang.
Why do you have to do that? Why was that the first name you had to put out there?
I don't know. Brayden, you're gonna have to
So-
help me with the Connor Hayward one.
Let me I'll
I
repeat
saw.
this again. So
I know for sure he had one reception. I don't know if he did.
Yeah, that's what I'm for sure about.
yeah, Kyle Pitts scored 6 points, and the other 3 names who potentially could have
Only
scored
one of
more,
them scored more, or
at least one of them
At
scored
least
more.
one.
okay, at least one.
So Connor Hayward, Daniel Bellinger, and Jonnu Smith.
Daniel Bellinger.
I don't think it was Hayward, because I'm pretty sure he only had like one reception.
I'm going Hayward. Only Hayward.
Really?
I'm going only Hayward.
Who does Daniel
I'm-
Bellinger play for?
I'm pretty sure Daniel Bellinger, I think he's on the Giants. And that offense didn't produce much, and he wasn't the one that scored the touchdown. So I'm going to just bet that he didn't get 5 catches. So,
All right, I'll go with Hayward with you then, because I have no clue. I
And I
don't think it
swear-
was John either.
no, Jonnu, I think, had like 2 points. He wasn't used today.
All right. Well, yeah, the answer is Connor Hayward,
Okay.
6.2 points.
I knew it was
Yeah.
barely.
Nice.
Daniel Bellinger got 5.4, and Jonnu Smith got 1.1.
Ah, nice.
I knew Jonnu
Got
was
one.
bad this week.
All right, and then we'll do one more round. So let's see. Sorry, I'm looking for one specific name. Okay. All right. I got my names. Let me list off these guys. So Luke Musgrave, Lawrence Cager, and Chigo Okonkwo.
Who was the second name?
Lawrence Cager.
Cager.
And Okonkwo?
Yes. Musgrave.
Okonkwo, that's
Lawrence.
the Titans.
Yeah, Titans. I saw Luke Musgrave score, and I remember it not being good, but I can't remember if it was 5.8 or 6.1.
Dang, dude, I don't know, because the Titans didn't have a great day. Levis had like 200 yards.
I have my answer. You go first, Bryson.
I don't think it's the second name. I don't know. I gotta
So
go. I'll go Okonkwo.
I'm gonna say it again. Could be one or more. Throwing it out there.
Well, as long as I get one of them,
Is that locked in, Bryson? You got a Conquest?
I'll go Okonkwo.
Alright, well, I got the other two. I got Musgrave and whatever the second guy
Both
is.
of them. Interesting.
I know it's the second guy. I know it's for a fact. He caught the only touchdown on that team. So I know he has 7.3 or something like
Ooh.
that.
Dang.
Is that you guys' final guesses?
Yeah, that's my final guess.
All
I
right.
swear,
So
Luke has 6.1 or 6.3.
So Kyle Pitts scored 6. Chig scored 5.7. So he was not it. Going back to the other two, Luke Musgrave scored 8.4. So he scored Lawrence Cager scored 8. He plays
Let's
for
go.
the Giants. He plays
Wow.
for the Giants.
Let's go.
Both of them right. Are you shitting me?
I knew it was Cager. I knew he was the only one that caught the touchdown because when he caught it, I was like, "Who the hell is Cager?"
Who's he
I
playing
thought you
on?
guys were gonna say Giants.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna
that's
say
right,
he's
that's right.
fake. I think he's fake. So I
For a
don't know.
second, I thought, but I vaguely remember that name because I think I checked the Giants who actually scored for the Giants.
I was scared that you were just gonna screw me over and switch his first name because I would have not had zero clue. I had zero clue what his first name was. I just know
I'll
his
say
last name was
this.
Cager.
I don't think I'd do that. No.
That'd be funny.
If
That'd be
it's
messed
like
up.
a noticeable guy, yeah.
That'd be scuffed.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to wrap this one up. Another Truth or Pits in the book. It's funny how we just kind of pick on Kyle Pitts. But, you know,
Not our fault.
when you're
It's
that
Arthur Smith.
caliber of a player and you don't, live up to expectations, it's what you get. But, I mean, yeah, it's kind of Arthur Smith's fault. But, yeah. Anyway, that's going to wrap this one up. Like we always say, make sure to check out our other socials. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can follow all our YouTube videos. And we will be putting out probably an Instagram reaction to the Monday Night Football Broncos versus Bills. So be on the lookout for that one. And we'll see you guys in the next one when we give our predictions. And I'll catch y'all later.
It's
Ooh.